Did the Virgin Mary receive the Holy Spirit on the day of Pentecost? We know that the Virgin Mary was present among the others. The Virgin Mary carried the early church. She had been the early and primitive church at the foot of the cross since she alone believed. In her person alone, Mary has identified as the whole Catholic Church at the foot of the cross. And then very quickly, when Jesus resurrects himself, the apostles and people return, but they have not yet received the Holy Spirit, and therefore Mary surrounds them. The Virgin Mary carried them. She explained to them what she had understood, so on that day of Pentecost, she had also been there. The question we might ask ourselves, did she receive the Holy Spirit on this particular day? I would say that you don't necessarily have to answer yes, that Mary and the Holy Spirit, she had never been separated from him. Never, because she had received a special grace because of the Passion of Christ, which had therefore occurred 40 days earlier. Mary, by preparation, had received the Holy Spirit in her heart from her conception. I say, well, the Holy Spirit within her heart. This Holy Spirit is present in every man, but for her she lived in a love of charity. She had always been nourished by the presence of God, and then she grew up in this presence. She had then fed upon the teachings of the Son, and the Holy Spirit each time had been ever close to her, and she discovered the secrets of God. We can therefore say that the greatest moment had been when she had received the Holy Spirit was at the foot of the cross, when the heart of Christ had been pierced. She also received this in pain, but she received it very deeply. And we can say that at Pentecost, which is like exaltation, the fruit of the cross, these are only consequences from which she had already lived or experienced. So obviously that there had been something new, that she had seen this, that it had an extraordinary effect, but the totality of which had shaped within her a kenotic heart, very small, all humble, broken heart, and which means that the Holy Spirit never had left her. It is at the foot of the cross that she had arrived at this totality. So Mary is not like the apostles, who experienced an abrupt arrival of the Holy Spirit. Mary had a slow growth, perpetual, where she had at every age of her life in perfect harmony with this Holy Spirit, so much so that we can call her woman. She is the woman who fully meets God's requirements. After Pentecost, she would still grow further, living upon the Eucharist, so at a distance, because the Eucharist is also some form of a cross. Jesus hides within, and finally, during her Assumption and her meeting with the glorious Christ at the hour of her death and resurrection, perhaps 12 years later or so. Actually, Mary experienced the Holy Spirit in the beatific vision. She had been totally with the Holy Spirit, and at this time there is no further growth. But never in human history had we seen a woman who responded so fully that what her heart was at the outset, this basin, this vase which had been made to receive the Holy Spirit at every moment of her life. All her life he had been present and filled her completely, to the point of making him take on the dimensions of a mother as the ocean. Mary's desire is as intense, just like the waves of the ocean. In comparison, for us, our desire is like a mountain lake for those of us who are in the most holy, and like a thimble for the less holy. But what is certain is that the Holy Spirit will completely fill our heart during the beatific vision for eternity.